From the Keith Vincent Kalis Studios in Paterson, New Jersey, Green Arrow Media proudly presents Is This Real? Tonight, mind control. What's behind it? We'll talk about it. And now, here's your host, JC3.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Is This Real?
Is this real?
On tonight's episode, as you heard from Big Joe, we are talking about mind control and all aspects of mind control as we continue our season of the mind. Let me not touch you. Our episode, as always, as you know, recently, is presented by Dubby! Go to w.gg, punch in the code IsThisRealPC, get 10% off your Dubby products. Does everyone drink Dubby? Everybody like Dubby?
Fucking love Dubby.
Dubby's great stuff.
I haven't tried it yet, but I heard you could fight God.
I don't think they put that in their marketing tools.
Yeah. I don't.
You know, it's energy, better results in work, God fighting. I don't think that's a thing they have.
Why not?
Because I don't think anyone has tested that just yet.
It makes me want to get out of bed in the morning when I'll slam some Dubby.
That's a better thing for Dubby, and it makes Tony get out of bed. Boom, done.
I'll slam a quick thing of Dubby in the morning as I'm getting ready for school for work, and I'm like, now I need to get in my car, and I'll be there in 5 minutes.
It takes you usually a half an hour.
Usually takes me 40 minutes.
All right, so let's just jump right into it. Okay, so mind control, everybody. We've talked about MKUltra before on this program.
Going right to the big time.
You know, we've talked about MKUltra. We talked about CIA. You know, mind control. It's a big thing. It's a big conspiracy theory throughout history.
Hold on. Fix yourself there, sir. It is not a theory. MKUltra was a real thing.
What I'm saying is mind control is a conspiracy theory. What they're
Depends
doing.
on how you look at it.
I understand that, but when people sit there and say mind control, they're thinking that you're locked down into a booth and someone's using a big computer to fuck with your head.
Yeah, well, there's different aspects of mind control. I mean, MKUltra is just they're doing it on a grander scale.
Well, yeah, I mean, MKUltra is through drug use and whatnot. There's a lot of drug use.
They were testing it on prisoners. Whitey Bulger, in fact.
Yeah, I mean, there's a giant, and we'll talk about this later in the season. There's a whole episode just dedicated to stuff like MKUltra that we're doing, even though we're doing MKUltra in this episode. But like Stranger Things is MKUltra based also, like the TV show Stranger Things.
Sure.
It's based on a real thing. And again, we'll get to that later in the season because we actually have a whole episode dedicated to that particular lab.
Give me a real quick recap. MKUltra was
actually created by the CIA under Allen Dulles when he right after the war in 1946, I believe it was, or something like that. And what it was he was using all kinds of he used heroin, he used all kinds of
LSD. I know that for sure.
And they were feeding it to inmates in prison, to see what kind of effect it would have on them, to see if they could use it in war. So that's where it got its start. And then, it went on from there. It went on to different aspects of, using in a military setting to try to give us an advantage over our enemies or our perceived enemies, and to try to control everything through hypnosis.
And a question for you. Because I wasn't alive when a lot of the things where MKUltra was coming out and like, oh yeah, we actually did this to our own citizens. Mm-hmm. What was the backlash from that?
There was no backlash because nobody knew about it.
Not even like
that didn't start getting like to the public till
because
years later.
Okay, so let me put it like this.
Not that I was there.
You have rightly so. You had Nazis who experimented on people,
right? Who
were tried as war criminals.
Correct.
We were doing the same shit, maybe not cutting people open, but they were doing the same shit, testing drugs on unexpecting people.
All right, you got to understand too, Anthony, what was going on back in the 40s and the 50s in this country. Right, in this country, patriotism was riding high. There was nothing the government couldn't do. No one questioned the government. They did everything they could do covertly, and as long as you didn't bother Mr. and Mrs. John Q. Public, and they went on living their lives.
And then in the 60s and 70s, those goddamn draft dodging hippies came.
All right, that's you know what? That's a whole different ballgame. Now,
Everyone liked the LSD by then.
when people started
I'm
getting
not wrong.
when the innocence of the '60s was worn away after Kennedy was killed, things took a turn. Everybody wanted to know what the government was into, what the government was up to, and well, that's what we got now. That's why we go to the questions now about MKUltra and how we were allowed to do this to our citizens, even though those citizens were basically prisoners in our own criminal institutions. So that's
And
how
now
that
with the
works.
Freedom of Information Act, you can unlock. There's a lot of stuff that's been declassified by the Freedom of Information Act that you can look up now and be like, yeah, oh shit, they were running in the papers back in 77, 78, 84 of just how, yeah, this was a thing then. And it's just like, it's weird. I was looking it up before. It was like, oh yeah, it's just like 2 columns in like the Washington Post.
That nobody just like it's just like a throwaway page.
Yeah, you would think that something like that would make the fucking cover of the Washington Post. Like,
No,
we
this
were
is-
drugging people for 10 years,
No,
experimenting on
No
people.
one's going to care. No one gives a shit because it's not affecting them. It's not affecting.
It was also done on prisoners too.
Right. It's people like, well, you're in prison, you deserve what you get.
and
you know.
you want to bring up the whole Nazi thing. The Nazis were experimenting on anybody.
No, I understand. Like, I'm saying, like,
They also didn't answer to anyone.
right. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, in like, where's the line of like, you think of like morality?
Morality,
Yeah, like we were doing the same goddamn thing. Albeit we're testing drugs on prisoners.
To be honest, that
and
happened.
you're like experimenting on twins and children, and like different ends of like
That-
the torture spectrum.
if
but
you
still.
want, I'll be honest though. If you want to take a look at any type of Nazi experiment, we've continued some Nazi experiments and some not doing like.
Of course
I
we
believe wasn't the.
Do you know how many things that we have in the U.S. military right now because of Nazis?
Yeah, I know this
because
has nothing to do with
we-
mind control.
No, but
you know,
it doesn't. But like the idea that like we took in Nazi scientists with Operation Paperclip, and we utilized their intelligence to help us build better bombs, build better machines to create shit. We utilized the
We also got
Nazis
Fanta
after we
out of it.
beat them.
we
What?
did get Fanta.
Also got Fanta out of it.
That's true. We got Fanta.
That's always a positive.
Yeah, if you're drinking a Fanta and a
A lot more you
Mercedes,
got out of that. Bear aspirin.
And a
Sorry to
Volkswagen,
say
by
it.
the way.
Look at
I mean, is Volkswagen
look at
really a
look at
positive?
FG
though?
Farbin. I mean, that they
They're
created
not reliable.
Bear aspirin.
Right?
yeah. So like,
I mean, who says I'm gonna go get a Volkswagen as like? Just saying.
we condemn the Nazis, but at the same time, we have a lot of
That's
military fucking like advancements
regular. I mean,
because
the
of
bomb.
Yeah, and you know what? Again, Anthony, you're gonna know that because you're looking into it. You're looking into it for the program. You're looking into it because you're an inquisitive person, and you want to know what's going on. 99% of the country could care less.
that. Yeah, I know. It's
They
sad.
don't give a shit. This country is so blind when it comes to they worry about transgender and trans this and trans that, but the stuff that's out there that can hurt them really can hurt them.
So you're saying
They don't give a shit.
So you're saying that the
We're not
drag
doing
sh-
this.
You're
We're
saying
not
that the
doing
drag
this.
shows are violations
We're not
of the
doing
First
this.
Amendment, right?
We're not
I'm
doing
not
this.
saying anything about
We're not
drag
doing
shows.
this.
I
We're
didn't
not
say
doing
that.
Okay,
know, I
so
know.
Okay,
what
I mean,
as
you
far
want
as
a program
I'm
of that, we
pulling
can
your
do
hold on.
that.
brick, relax,
mind
moving
control.
on.
Mind control. I'm controlling your minds. Forget
No,
about
I
this.
understand that. But
I'm
I'm
gonna
trying to make a
use
point
the
about
J-
the government.
The Jedi mind control. We're not
Okay, I'll
talking
say-
about that
all right,
subject
all right,
today.
I'll say it slowly. Okay, they put stuff that's unimportant,
No, I understand
and
that.
they capitalize
that's-
on that,
okay.
except for the stuff that they should be
So
looking into.
as far
Oh, yeah,
as
that's true.
let me ask a question to everybody in here. As we talked about, we're talking about mind control back then. What do you think are uses of mind control? I guess this will go into the media aspect when we talk about it later in the season. But what would be considered mind control these days?
To me,
Yeah.
Media propaganda.
thank you. Wes hit it right on the head.
100%.
100%. Anything
Wes?
you watch on the news,
Sorry.
and I'm not talking about.
Roblox? You think media propaganda also?
Yes, because it's more of a repetitious thing. Like if you want to change, it actually ties into indoctrination.
I'll give
You
you.
want to change people's minds, you keep feeding them the same shit every day for
Which is why
years on end.
I agree 100%. Which is why it's like the ban TikTok bill thing. That's why I'm looking at like, first of all, it's not ban TikTok. It's something different. It's any foreign app that they think can collect data. They want to ban that and put it in the hands of the one secretary if it passes. But you can. Someone did this. You can go on Instagram and type in France. And you get pictures of the Eiffel Tower. You get a picture of a baguette, of a cat sitting on a river. Like, nice pictures of France. You go on TikTok and type in France, you get the riots that are happening right now. Because we are communicating in real time right now. And the one thing you don't want is a group of people. If you're trying to control a group of people, you do not want people being able to go in and communicate with each other at a moment's notice, because then you can't.
Well, I mean,
put up
also like France,
the false narrative.
France is also sitting at their 100-year mark. They were due for a revolution.
They were due for a revolution.
You know, I'll give you
one more. They get a free president.
I'll give you a
free
little
beheading.
example. Here's a little example, and this just happened last night. Now, with all the shit going on with the Trump stuff and all other shit, doesn't matter
It's
what
just a
side you
distraction,
fall on.
just
I don't give a fuck about that.
All right, here's how you do it. If you're gonna always go to the station that you agree with, your values.
Sure.
Okay. Well, I don't do that. I go to the other ones. I watch the other stuff. Now, last night.
You like to be angry though.
Well,
You do.
I do, but
You do like to be angry.
But
It helps
again,
keep down the rage.
I'm going to tell you how people manipulate people's minds and the words they use. You know me. I'm a big. I like to tell you about words.
You like to yell at the
Okay.
the anchors.
Last night I was skimming through these things, and I came across something on TikTok, and it had that MSNBC. What's that? Rachel Maddow. Okay, she was covering or not covering the Trump speech at Mar-a-Lago, and she justified it by, we're cutting away now because he's saying the same old stuff, the untrue slurred comments, all this other. She's judging and she's being the jury. She's not reporting the news.
That's correct.
She's telling you how they want you to feel.
Well, you're
and
right.
That's done on all the stations. It's done on MSNBC, Fox.
Right.
You name it, it's done on. You got to listen to the words.
So
And
there's
that's
no
mind control.
So my question for you is then we don't have a news program that's totally unbiased these days.
Yes, you do.
You do, but like
Where?
It's between your ears.
No.
What I'm saying,
that's not true.
if
it's
you're gonna
very
turn
true.
the TV on,
Right.
and you want to say, I just want the news, just the news.
You're not going to get it.
The closest thing we have would be NPR. And NPR is so fucking boring because it's literally
You're an asshole.
No, but it is true. It is literally just this is what happened today. The facts as we have seen them with our own eyes, as they've been reported by people who are at the scene. Like, they're not going to sit there and commentate on what Trump said. They're just saying that Trump said this. NPR would be the closest thing to just the facts, middle of the road news reporting. But NPR is independent. It doesn't, I mean, it's big enough to be recognized, but it's not polarizing. No one's watching it at NPR and going, fuck yeah, because they're not giving you anything to say fuck yeah about. That's why shows like Rachel Maddow or Tucker Carlson, you can sit there and be like, I agree with this fucker, because they're saying something and putting their spin on it.
Right.
And when you sit there and go, well, that's not news, they acknowledge that. Tucker Carlson's show was sued, and they said that you're not reporting the facts, and they won because they said, well, we're not a news program. We're not in the sense of like giving you, it's like an opinionated news program.
Mm-hmm.
It's different than like your 12 o'clock local, 11 o'clock local news.
The only news, I'm gonna hate myself for saying this, but the only one in the last couple of months that I actually can watch peacefully is, and I don't like the guy, is Chris Cuomo's show. And the reason I say that is because he always has an alternative view. Like right now, whenever you turn Cuomo on, the first half of the segment is him, and it's his brother.
His brother, yeah.
And who's the guy that?
You had Chris, his brother was the
Andrew was the brother.
Andrew
Chris
was the
is
brother of New York.
commentator.
Yeah, he was the governor with the nipple piercings.
Who's the guy that? I can't think of his name now. He did all the
Is that-
books, Killing a Jesus, Killing this, Killing that.
Bill O'Reilly.
Bill O'Reilly. Him and O'Reilly are polar opposites,
Well,
but
yeah.
they're debating. And to me, that means if you're not going to give me the news, then I want to hear both points.
I want to hear a conversation.
I want to hear, an interesting conversation. And I don't like Chris Cuomo at all, but I got to give him his props. This new program is really, really good. So shout out to Chris Cuomo and what's the guy's name again?
Bill O'Reilly.
Bill O'Reilly.
Fuck, I will do it live.
And I don't like Bill O'Reilly either.
No,
But
I know.
What? Cameron, you mad?
You had something to say?
All I was gonna say was, as far as media propaganda is the biggest form of Western mind control because there's no real journalism involved with it anymore. You don't get to the who, what, when, where, and why things are happening, and you're not getting all the facts. Right now, you have people that are fact experts yet are fucking 21, 22-year-old motherfuckers that just swear that they know everything that's what's happening. But
it doesn't help when we have reporters and journalists come up being murdered because they were trying to uncover something and deliver the news.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
that's a very surefire way to manipulate the media.
Yeah, that's definitely a big way of doing it, because when you start killing actual journalists, like going back to the coronavirus thing, when the coronavirus was spreading out in China back in 2019, in November of 2019, doctors were going missing, journalists were popping up dead, and China was doing everything to cover their own fucking asses to orchestrate that there's nothing bad happening, thus hypnotizing the people into thinking that there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong.
Hypnotizing the world.
And yeah, well, that's a whole different ball game. But the point is that it's like what Block said. If you give people information or just repeat something at a constant basis, you're gonna eventually come to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna believe it. It's a form of mind control.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then if we're gonna go into the whole MKUltra thing, these were people that were getting performed on electroshock therapies. They were being sleep deprived. And if we really want to talk about hypnosis, can we talk about how the fact that there's poison in our foods? There's poison in our foods to not get us to think. We're being chemically induced to just be docile, to just take everything that they're just throwing at us.
Mindless robots. And this has been going on since God knows how long. It's been since pretty much since humanity. Humanity is just the start of humanity. Ever since
humanity is fucked up.
It's not fucked up.
Whenever a person in power, it's just a psychological proven study that a person in power is gonna corrupt the power and it's gonna abuse it. So of course you're gonna just want to protect.
Yeah, not just that, but like since the dawn of time, the one thing man has always tried to do is control. And control other man means you control everything. That is a common thread throughout every ancient civilization.
Slavery and genocide too.
All that shit. But like those are methods of control. There's always going to be someone at the top making the decisions. From the first guys who walked into the cave and said, "This now home." Unga bunga me like to 2023.
Another religion. Religion's a big, huge one.
Oh, that's all mind control.
That's a lot of it is mind control.
As we record this on Good Friday.
Happy Good Friday.
Because think about it. Think about the Bible. Think about the Bible and everything that goes on. How Christianity right now is one of the largest religions in the world.
Top 3, yes.
But when you sit back and look at the history of it, the book that we read is not the complete book. There are things taken out of it
because of the Council of Nicaea.
On purpose.
No, hold on, that's not correct. But
on purpose, in order to get people to believe a certain view on what's happening, with that religion. The whole Constantine thing, and what was it, in 697 or something like that. The first meeting is when they first decided to start taking out things from the Bible.
No, he's talking about it's the Council of Nicaea. That's not the purpose of the Council of Nicaea. The Council of Nicaea's purpose was to establish the divinity of Christ. It had nothing to do with editing the Bible. That happened later on.
It wasn't like the third council though.
I don't think it was at the ending of the Councils of Nicaea. It was much.
Well, it was a group meeting that someone decided these are the books that we're gonna put in the Bible.
It might have been around Vatican II as well. I mean, look, there's been so many different things that they've done that they slip little things out or they add what they want.
That's why I was telling you the other day when we were talking about
fear is the biggest way to control people.
When you that's a big way
fear
to control
and hunger.
people.
Those are the two.
And right now we're hungry and we're fearful right now in this country or in the world.
The
world right now.
That ties back into the whole media aspect though. The media promotes the fear, no matter what it is.
Actually, I think it starts sooner than that. Not even about media. It starts in the education system.
So we're gonna blame the Rockefellers. So we're gonna blame the Rockefellers, is what we're saying?
I mean, you could, but I think
No,
it
we
starts-
can because
it
they were the
starts
ones
in
that
school
definitely.
system because all they're actually doing is just training robots. If you think about it, you
Well,
learn
this-
what
Yeah,
that's
to
and
do.
you train robots,
Well,
you
this-
goddamn
that's-
teacher.
I
Our
teach
system-
acting. The whole point of acting is to think outside the box.
Yeah, well,
thing-
guess what? You're
that-
in a box that you try to think out of, and that's not
That-
happening.
The
Would you
education.
shut
The
up?
education system, the education form of control just ties back into like the ancient Persian system, where all they wanted was just
Yo, he looked at you strangely, bro.
Persians.
Persian. No,
This
yeah,
motherfucker's bringing Persia into the mix.
Nah,
He's
yeah,
not
because-
wrong. That's where
because
some of it
a lot of
started.
this stuff started back then because the Persian Empire after they took over Mesopotamia or whatever the fuck, the Sumerians after they took
That
over the Sumerians, an established thing that was going on in their empire was that they just wanted soldiers and people that were not thinking. They
Yeah.
wanted you to.
They
They
would
wanted the
Bodies. They just
They,
wanted
they
bodies.
just wanted people to be
they
dumb.
recruit and they indoctrinate in their way. They sit there and they used to torture kids and stuff like that. Because this is our religion. This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna follow it day in, day out. There's no way out unless
Which
death.
ties back to fear. You're doing it all out of fear because you don't want to die.
Well, let's just put it like this. We're going to take a short little break and we'll come back because this is a good topic of conversation that we're having, really flowing. Wes is very animated for a minute. I like it, Wes.
This is shit that pissed me off, man.
I know. We have to piss you off more in this program. That's what we
really
have to
fucking
do.
pissed me off.
Maybe the season of mind control or just talking about the mind will piss you off.
Persia.
But we will be right back. Don't go away. We have more mind control for you. Hey everybody, I'm JC3.
And I'm Mr. West.
And this episode is brought to you by Dubby. Made by professionals in the USA, Dubby was formulated to give you focus and energy with no jitters or crash.
No jitters.
Their formula contains vitamins, amino acids, including the patented neurofactor. You know what Dubby doesn't give you?
What is that?
No calories,
No calories.
no sugars,
No sugar.
no fillers,
No fillers.
and no artificial flavors. When the raw ingredients arrive to their FDA registered and inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP guidelines, they undergo a quarantine while a small sample of each ingredient is taken to test for any impurities, while also being tested to ensure that the ingredients are actually what they are supposed to be and have the proper dosage.
And once the ingredients pass all the tests, then they're cleared to get mixed into the formula. So head on over to dubby.gg and use our offer code IsThisRealPC for 10% off your first order. That's DUBBY.GG and use the code IsThisRealPC for 10% off. They have great flavors such as Galaxy Grenade, Dub Sludge, Pass and Joy Tea, Monkey Madness, and Dragonade. My personal favorites.
Dragonade right here. I got Dragonade right here. Delicious.
Drink Dubby.
And be better.
These products are not intended to diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hello, this is JC3 speaking. If you want to know more about Is This Real Podcast and our parent company Green Hour Media, then visit greenhourmedia.org. You can find and follow all of our social media pages through our website. If you love our content, then you can support us by subscribing to our YouTube channel and our Patreon page. Remember, that is greenhourmedia.org.
And welcome back to our episode about mind control. And this episode again is brought to you by Dubby. Go to dubby.gg, punch in the code IsThisRealPC, all one word, and get your 10% off all of your Dubby products.
I am mind controlling.
And not to mention, I know I went out this week and I bought myself a very own Is This Real shirt.
Ah, yes. Is This Real t-shirt? Wes is wearing Is This Real sweater.
He's always dressed to the nines on this guy.
Yeah,
Every-
Wes
Oh
is
yeah, you
always
didn't.
coming.
Oh, I mean, we got right into this episode. You didn't bother introducing us today because I didn't get to go. I'm at the Pope because
I
I'm
didn't.
wearing my Pope hat.
I apologize. I did not introduce everybody. I was excited about this episode. Mind
Yeah.
control is a big
I'm
topic.
still waiting for my hoodie.
Fuck, you're right. You know what? Let's make a note of that.
Yeah,
He only gave me 60
Actually, wait a
bucks
second.
6 months ago.
3 years later.
I think I'm in the same boat with
What,
Josh.
No,
my
no,
next-
you stole my hoodie,
It was
motherfucker.
3X.
Actually, no, I have your
DX.
hood.
Yeah.
Well, the way
You have my
my
zip up?
Not the zip up. This
Alright,
one was
3X.
yours.
No. He has my
That's
zip
the
up.
button,
Zipper.
Zip up.
It's like,
Zip
yeah,
up,
yeah, guys, I have this hoodie. We're not a thing though.
I mean, we technically are.
Stop it.
11 years, 11, 12 years together. It's cool.
If that's the case, by law, me
we're,
and Tony
we're
would
not a
be-
thing. It's like a normal relationship
Exactly.
nowadays. It's like yeah.
That was
we're
the case.
together,
Me
but
and
we're
Tony
not.
would have been married a long
We're
time
not
ago.
gay.
Josh and I have been married, divorced, remarried, had it annulled, went back to the altar the third time. He just can't stay away.
Yeah, it's called a toxic relationship.
It
He
is.
moved to Vermont.
He,
and
he,
came
separated.
back.
He separated
There
himself
was
from
states between us, and he still found his
There
way
has been
back.
a lot of times where he's like, well, I'm moving away. I'm like, well, fuck you. No, you're not. Well, I got another girl pregnant. Damn you, West.
That went
Sounds like an episode all to itself. Holy
so
fuck.
bad, so fast.
Talking about manipulation.
Talk about mind control, right? We're talking about mind
He always
control.
gets me to stay. Anywho, okay, we're going back to mind, and we're talking about mind control in the mass media, and
Or just mind control in general.
yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
But what I want to get to as far as the media in general, when we talk about the media and controlling, because this is examples of mind control today in
Right,
today's
right.
time.
And we're gonna have a whole episode about media manipulation.
Yeah, I mean,
later this season.
it goes. I guess. I mean, it's hard not to talk about media manipulation without talking about mind control, especially
Sure.
today, because they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
as
we're
far as
also-
I don't think we're using like MKUltra. We're not using drugs on people. Not we aren't, because again, there's probably whatever's in the CIA.
Well, it ties it. Well, again, it may not be actual physical drugs like LSD. Well, LSD enhances your mind. Trust me.
yeah. If the person I'm gonna trust is gonna be you, Wes.
Yeah, trust me with that. Trust me with that one. As far as the drugs go, it's just in the food. It's really in the food and everything that goes on into the TV that we watch, the movies that we watch. Everything is just programming us in a way to be okay with certain things or just to tolerate certain
What I
things.
want to get into, and we'll get into your topic in a minute because I know what you're talking about. What I want to get into is how we're controlled to fear something. Stop playing with the mic.
I just grabbed it. I wasn't supposed
Yeah,
to hit-
it makes a loud noise.
Be more specific about fear.
Okay, so let's just put it like this. There's obviously and we're gonna sit there and I guess this will be a debate thing because I know some people are, and I hate talking about politics, but it always comes back to politics as far as trying
Well,
to
that's
fear.
the biggest thing we're being.
Yeah, exactly. And if we're gonna talk about anything, obviously it's gonna be about the
Get
whole
there, Junior.
Trump thing. The people are told to fear Trump. And by his
Who's
actions-
being told to fear Trump?
well, I mean, the left wants you to fear Trump, not to vote for him.
Yeah, that's the narrative.
Yeah, that is the narrative. They want you not to vote for Trump. The left is scared of Trump,
I don't.
and the same thing for the right. The right will tell you not to. Will tell you to fear like Newsom. He's done so bad with his California.
I
Fear
understand,
him.
but
and
there's a difference between being afraid of someone and saying this person is a bad person for our leadership because of X, Y, and Z. Regardless
Yeah,
of what
but
those
they
reasons
use-
are, I haven't heard much about we need to be afraid of what Donald Trump has
no,
to say.
not afraid of what
Totally
Donald Trump
disagree
has to
with that.
say. It's Trump.
Be afraid of what he's capable of.
All right, there's
It's
the difference.
fear-
Yes,
it's
agreed.
fear
Yes.
And to
tactics.
paint him into it, whether you like the guy or not, you're gonna describe. If you don't like him, you're gonna describe him in a certain way. He's a liar. He's this. He's that. He's everything else. If you're a supporter, well, then you're gonna look at it like, well, you know what? He's done this for the country, done that for the country.
At least
So,
he's honest.
He's
Kind of.
The thing is, I mean, you can sit here and debate this all day long, whether you like him or you don't. But it's the sides that are killing it. It's the sides that are like
At the end of the day,
trying to make you believe what they want you to believe.
At the end of the day, it's just a group. It's literally a group of people all in the same circle that are just gonna be saying, "Okay, what are we gonna be doing next?
and
Are we
that's
gonna
what I think.
make them fear this? Are we gonna make let's make them do
But
this.
that's-
Let's make them do
If
this."
you want to talk about mind control, the biggest component, in my opinion, at least, of mind control, is politics these days.
I'm gonna go one step further.
it's more or less keeping. It's more. I would go. I don't know what you're gonna go with, and I'm sorry to cut you
No,
off,
go
but
ahead, go ahead.
I would say the biggest thing to that is, as far as the mind control, is the being uneducated.
Mhm.
Keeping your consciousness at a low level of thinking in order for you to be a sheep in order for you to be following the masses,
Okay,
for you to blindly follow everything.
My
and
question
to-
for you then,
okay.
and well, everybody in here, because I'll ask. I have a lot of questions about this. As far as when you say uneducated,
Okay.
who do you consider uneducated and who do you not consider uneducated? Because you could sit there and say, as far as let's typically go with how things go. The right usually is what a lot of people think the uneducated, the white Southern person. That's where
You're
you
drawing stereotypes. now.
stereotypes. Yes, and
Yeah.
as far as the left, you have the college students.
I'm
you
gonna
have
use my
the-
credit
I'll
card.
give you an example of this. This is happening right now. There's a protest against Bud Light. A lot of guys are throwing out their Bud Light because Bud Light came out in support of the LGBTQ, the alphabet people. Say, Pride Month, all that. They're in support. What?
Alphabet people.
The Alphabet
really?
Gang. Yeah, that's what they
No,
are.
that
They don't
is
mind that. They don't
that is
mind
a proper term.
I don't mind that. Bud Light came out and said, we support the Alphabet Gang,
Mhm.
right? And there's guys going around going, fuck Bud Light. They're throwing out cases of blood. I'm not drinking this shit. Yes, there have been, Dad. Don't you
Hold
shake
on.
your head.
Hold on.
Hold on a second. But
Again, you're going to be truthful here. Let's be truthful.
I am going to be truthful. Let me
Okay,
get
go
to
ahead,
my
continue.
point.
Continue, please.
So they're drinking other things like Coors Light, which has been supporting the Alphabet Gang for years. They're driving, you want to talk about stereotypes, right? You're driving a Ford, but you're against gays. They support LGBT in the Alphabet Gang. There are so many things that major products that we have that support that thing, but they're throwing out the beer because that's the latest thing that came out. So my point is, when you're willing to sit there and go, fuck this product because they're supporting something I don't agree with, but you're using all these other things that do the same, that support the same fucking cause, that's uneducated to me because I'm like, why don't you know those people
What I
are doing
consider
the same thing as this?
what I consider uneducated, as far or maybe not uneducated, but blindly following. I guess it would be
Herd mentality.
It would be
Sure.
and both sides do this, both left and right. Perfect example. Trump's doing this, Trump's doing that, but my candidate, I don't care what my candidate's doing. Trump is doing this, Trump is doing. To me, that is
Oh, but my candidate wasn't on the island with Jeffrey Epstein.
Exactly, you're absolutely
that
right.
is uneducation to me, and that is blindly following. That's to me, that's mind control.
It's a form of mind control. It's what it is.
And again, for both
You could just,
sides.
well, I don't know about mind control. It's definitely manipulation to a very good extent.
I'm drawing a blank on the word. Begins with an H. It's like HY. Where
Hypnosis.
no, I do something. It's okay. You do the same thing. It's
Hypocrisy.
hypothetical.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. I'm drawing a blank. It's hypocritical. Okay.
Let me tell you, you know what? The word hypocritical and mind control are holding hands right now.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll tell you what, you want to go back to this Bud Light thing? All right, I don't care what, I have no problem with any brand or any product that is going to, they want to support a certain cause, whatever the fuck it is. I don't give a shit. But when you blatantly put a transgender on your can as your spokesperson or whatever the fuck you want to put on there, and you know it's a hot button topic, right then you're a dumbass because you're going to be alienating people
You know that
who think it's bullshit,
hold on a second. You know that they.
which is 90% of the country.
You know that Ford dropped an entire truck that was rainbowed out, right? And people bought and sold.
Okay, I don't
Did they
think.
put a transgender in the seat
That's what.
driving
It's,
it?
what the symbol doesn't matter. It's still the same symbol.
Hold on,
It
hold on.
represents all the same
Hold
things.
on. Let me take
These
control.
people
of
they
this.
sell out to these
Hold
groups
on,
anyway.
hold on. Let's put it like this. First, Dad, I'll sit there and I don't think it's 90% of the country that believes it's all bullshit. There's a portion of the country that believes it's bullshit. In fact, you know what? It's the point I think it is.
I don't want to hear other people's opinion about stuff like that. Do not push your shit on me.
Well, I
don't
mean-
put it in my schools. Don't give me the shit about it. Don't try to change
You can-
my opinion about it.
That's
okay.
fine.
I don't.
That idea.
care. You want to support it? That's fine. Again, we're gonna go back to the gay stuff. All right. I have no problem. My uncle's gay. I don't give a flying fuck about you're gay or you're not. Don't tell me I gotta accept it because you're gay. And don't tell me that I got to sit in there and I got to be what you want me to be. I don't push me on you. Or don't push you on me. And then we can all get along. Problem is, don't sit there and tell me and make it a big. You're not accepting me. You're giving me my own pronouns.
This doesn't have.
Fuck you.
I don't think this applies to you. But I agree. Fine, I'll deal that card to you. But there are people who think just like that, but they still want the 10 Commandments in public schools. It's the same principle. Don't put your shit on me because I don't agree with it. That is now a thing in Texas. They're voting on it. They want to put the 10 Commandments in public schools in Texas.
They're voting on it.
They're voting on it.
Voting is different.
Right, but here's my thing.
Well,
If that's the case,
that's the thing.
then if you're going to be able to put the 10 Commandments up there should be a page from the Quran up there as well. There should be a page from the Torah. There should be the 11 satanic commandments up there as well. You want to represent that religion?
Totally
the rest
agree
should
with
be
you.
represented as well. And the problem is the second somebody sits there and go, well, I want the satanic commandments on the wall next to your 10 Commandments, they're going to withdraw that fucking bill. Because when you push something out...
Hold on.
Sorry.
Let's just put it like this.
That was dinging.
Is it, as far as democracy, if someone turns around and brings it up and it gets denied, that's what a democracy is.
Sure.
So if they
Unless
bring it
you're
up,
in Tennessee.
if they bring it up,
Mississippi.
if they bring it up and it gets denied, that's what happens. And there's nothing going on in Tennessee that's wrong right now.
No. The two representatives that got expelled off the floor. They
Well,
kept the old white lady. The two young black guys got expelled. You know the last two people that got kicked off of the
Yes, I
Tennessee
do.
floor? What were they doing?
Some type of heinous crime.
One
One
guy-
was betting, not betting. He
one
got
was-
paid $1,000 for the
One guy was what do you call it? Not blackmail. The other thing,
Bribery.
bribing.
Yeah.
He was accepting bribes. The other guy, and the other one was 22 counts of sexual allegations against him. They got expelled. You had three representatives who stood up to support the kids who were there. Two of them got expelled.
One of them
Why?
turns around. Hold on. When you're
Three of
sitting
them
there,
were up for expulsion. How come only two left?
Because they decided the 60-year-old white woman was okay to stay. The two black kids expelled, and they said that's insurrection. Really? Nothing was destroyed.
You know what? I'm really sorry that happened. You know what? But it happens every day. People are getting thrown out of things.
You're elected
for shit that they're
representatives.
This
not.
motherfucker just pulled a camera on, bro.
Okay.
They're
Get
elected
shot every day.
representatives. That means there's
Then they have
thousands of people
rules.
who
How many
elected
people
there's thousands of people who elected those people now do not have a voice in Tennessee when it's their right to have a voice.
And I'm really sorry for that, but they have to follow the fucking rules.
They did
Just like
follow the
people,
rules.
No, they didn't. I saw the video. They didn't follow the rules. The Democrats didn't want that video played because the Democrats love to hide shit, and right away, that's what they were trying to do. And they played it on the
So
floor.
that ties back into the media manipulation
and
and,
this
the
is
mind
my
control.
point exactly. I was just about to
Exactly.
say, as far as you're sitting here
my
talking about
it's the same
Democrats,
thing when Tucker Carlson
and then
did a
he's
couple
going
weeks
to turn around and say something about
Carlson's
Republicans.
A poster boy for the
This-
left. I get it.
No.
This
I'm
right
saying
here-
It's the same thing that
Hold
Tucker
on, guys,
Carlson did a couple weeks ago.
Go
It's like,
ahead,
well,
because we're gonna go him and I.
Yes,
it's like, well, the
I
January
want it.
6th riots
I will
weren't
tickle
that
the
bad.
shit out of both of you. Shut the
don't
fuck up.
want to hear
Listen,
the January
hey,
6th
hey.
riot.
Oh, you don't want to hear it.
Hey,
Now we got it.
I have
I'm
control.
a tickler. I will
I have
tickle y'all.
control of audio.
It's the same shit.
I have control of audio. All right. This right here is exactly what media manipulation and mind control do. All right. You are far right, and
I am
you
not
are
far
left.
right. I'm not far right at all.
Oh, you're pretty far out there, and you're pretty far left.
Appreciate it. Thank you for the tickle.
Okay. Tickling is tickling. You have to have their.
I am the mediator.
No, I understand that, but to tickle, remember, you're touching. You have to have their permission to do it.
The consent.
Consent.
Hold on, I'll write it for him. Tickle me, please.
Remember, if you want to wear someone as a slipper, I want that consent in writing.
True. Yes. But yeah. So this right here is again, and who's benefiting from all this? If we want to talk about conspiracy
The
theories,
podcast listeners.
besides that,
We are. We're getting more listeners.
who's benefiting off of all? It happens right. Who's benefiting of people arguing with each other?
It's just
The upper 1%. Who's not arguing with each other?
See, it's really
it's the 1% of the 1%.
This
really.
is a side effect. Like a lot of families, like especially when Trump was running years ago for president, like people were like throwing shit over Thanksgiving dinner, like because of like very far opposite political opinions, and like people like families were really fucking.
And it goes.
Right,
and
political opinions are
it-
crazy because like I could think to myself, you know what? You did wrong. Let public execution make an example out of you.
Wait, what?
Whoa!
But however, you put
Hey.
the microphone in front of someone that's a podcast.
Hey! Whoa! No. Whoa. We're not in favor of public executions. Not happening.
You're not gonna say that and just walk off screen.
Yeah, seriously. He was like, I'm not getting caught for this.
I mean, like, maybe
Public execution and then
hot
fucks
take.
off.
Hot take. I think it depends on the type of execution.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
That's why I'm saying political opinions vary, because that is a very extreme way of looking at things. And
Keeping the other side silent.
exactly.
Okay,
And
so
going
shock
ba-
factor.
I mean,
just shock factor was great on that one, right?
I don't
But
want.
but it's high. But even if let's just say
Oh
that
my
public
God.
execution thing is a thing, it is a form of manipulation,
Entertainment.
which well technically you're not wrong, but
no, there's a lot wrong with him.
the Romans did it.
Yeah,
Everyone did it. The last fucking execution in France by guillotine, Star Wars was still in the fucking theaters.
Dude, we
I'm
saw
talking about A New Hope.
First
We
of all,
saw-
it's France.
First of all, we saw
what I
Saddam.
said,
We
didn't
saw
I?
Saddam Hussein get hung on live TV.
And it-
I
in
don't
America,
believe that was
in
Saddam
America.
Hussein, but that's just one of my things.
Whatever.
I saw someone
But
take-
it's
Just like Bin Laden, he
whatever,
was dumped in the
whatever. It's
ocean, and
point-
everybody
it's the
wants to
point
say that he
of-
was
It
killed.
is the point of that it is just manipulation, which will then tie into fear, which will then get people to
Well,
be brainwashed
okay.
into doing
Hold on,
So-
what you need
Hold on,
to
hold
be.
on. I saw this execution video. You know how I had the strobe light shit? Someone put club music over it, and I was like, oons, 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 oons.
Okay,
oons,
we're,
oons, oons.
shut up.
Early YouTube videos. Right?
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm gonna say the last, and then we're gonna go to a quick break. But remember, as far as we get back, I have no idea where the fuck we are for this. But as far as having fear manipulate people, every year, and we'll talk more about this when we get back, because I think this might be a long episode. Every time we have a boogeyman, we're scared into doing
We
something.
have to have boogeyman.
All
We
right,
have
the
to,
U.S.
because-
has to have a boogeyman,
Well,
and
yeah,
more
it's the
people
only way
get
shit
sick.
gets done.
It's also just a distraction for something bigger that's happening.
Exactly.
Too.
And
Exactly.
There's that too.
we'll
yeah.
go down when we get back from break and talk about who's the boogeyman now. We will be right back.
Russia.
If you liked this video today, please click the like and subscribe button and make sure to hit the notification icon to keep up with all our videos.
Welcome back. What are you doing?
I'm showing the world that I'm going to be chiseled like a Roman god.
Okay, welcome back to our program. This episode and Eric's abs are presented to you by Dubby. Go to w.gg, punch in the code IsIsRealPC, and you could get 10% off your Dubby products and look like Mr. West.
Mr. West, you get
Gave
W
him
like
the
Thug
energy.
Life, like Tupac.
It gave him the energy to get those abs.
It did. And any of you trifling cheating bitches that want to cheat on your husband, come fuck with me.
Okay, wow.
I told you a W tattooed like Tupac had Thug Life.
Dubby life.
Scream Thug Life and just unleash your clip.
I take that back. I don't want any of you cheating bitches.
All right.
Dub Life.
So we're gonna shut the fuck up. We're gonna begin back to our episode about mind control here,
Here's
gentlemen.
more abs.
And put your abs away.
Stop
Alright.
from being distracted.
And besides, like we
Mind
don't
control.
have.
This is mind control.
It is because we don't have abs.
Well,
we
I
have
was gonna say
flabs.
like that's a great thing that you're showing your abs and you're because sex is a form of mind control that is used all the fucking time. It's only used in advertising though. It's like we want you to wear this or drink that.
I'll be honest. Okay, as far as
So
before we get that, before you get your, because I know you, I have never in my life
Yeah.
tried a product or anything like that because a sexy person was eating it or drinking
So I
it.
was gonna
Really?
say. So
It
if you telling
never-
me, so you telling me if I'm out here just in the sexiest pose or whatever with some dubby shit that's just gonna hypnotize people. Yes,
Or-
I
you know what?
must-
You know
I
what?
must
You know what we're gonna
have
do?
You know,
Dubby.
you know what's gonna do? Is gonna, next time someone sees Dubby, they're gonna be like, Eric.
Or we have to do the same thing. So when we have to completely get you naked, and then tattoo "Is this real" all over your body, and then people be like, "If I listen to 'Is this real," then I'll have abs.
Bill Hicks had a great joke.
Which doesn't help because we all have flabs. Okay.
Bill Hicks had a
Speak
great
for
joke.
yourself. At the rate I'm going, I might have abs by next summer.
It's true, he might.
On your forehead.
Anyway, getting back to sex sells. Bill Hicks had a great joke about that in one of his specials in the late 80s. And he was like, it's going to get to a point where it's going to be like zoom in on a beautiful woman. It's going to zoom out. No shirt. Beautiful tits. Zoom out. She's completely naked. She's holding her pussy open with 2 hands. And then it's just going to say, drink Coke. Like, sex sells.
But that's my thing. I have any of you ever seen a product and be like, oh, she's really attractive. I have to go.
No, but you associate that person with the
She's-
product.
I'm not going to say this.
No,
I mean,
it's more that like
You
if
associate
there's a,
that
if there's
person
a,
with
if
the
there's
product.
a really attractive female or woman, whatever.
person. You could use the word person.
Like, you think
If
of an
the-
attractive person, like there's the product that represents them.
Yeah.
In my mind, I've never like.
Hold on, Lincoln. McConaughey,
English.
Matthew McConaughey. What's the first product you can think of?
Home Alone.
Home
What?
Alone.
Home Alone. That's Macaulay Culkin.
Oh.
You say
The
Matthew
Lincoln Continental.
Lincoln Continental cars.
Yeah, but it's not because he's attractive.
Well, he is attractive.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, but I don't link him to that because of his attractiveness. I link him that because I hear that Lincoln Continental.
Yeah, but I'm thinking
his voice,
Yeah,
not
but
because of
that's
his
my
sex.
point. You're still thinking of the product. Like, if I say to you, think of that Johnny Depp commercial, you're like, oh, which one? The perfume one? Because that's the only one he's done.
Well, that's
And
because it's the only one. That's the reason.
But
Like if
besides
I
that,
see
but, like,
multiple people in different ads, like Seth Rogen has done many ads, and Seth Rogen at one point was fucking horrendously ugly.
Seth Rogen?
Rogen, yes.
Yeah.
That guy.
I'm drawing a I've never seen him in a
I
commercial.
mean, I've seen a lot of recently a lot of his weed commercials.
Weed commercials, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's what he's smoking. He's been smoking weed forever.
Yeah,
Makes a lot
but
of
like,
sense.
I'm not gonna sit there and say, well, I have to try some weed because Seth Rogen's
All
on
I'm saying,
it.
I see any green bitch, I'm like, I want M&Ms because there's a green bitch.
Like,
on
excuse the
M&Ms.
fuck out of me?
When I'm
No,
watching
because she's an M&M. It's not because she's green.
No, when I'm I'm watching Avengers. There's Gamora. She's green. I'm
You
like,
want M&Ms because you seen a green bitch?
I think of the green M&M, and she's kind of hot.
What the fuck is your problem?
She melts in your mouth, not in your hand.
What the fuck is your problem?
Green bitches, and then you have Shatner, who was fucking green bitches in the '60s on Star Trek. Every time I
Stop
think about
talking.
Fucking,
Stop.
Every time I think about fucking a green bitch, I want M&Ms.
I can kind of see it.
No.
Well, yeah. This is the wrong person to say that. Like he's gonna agree with that.
Well, yeah, because he wants to fuck a Martian. So, like, of course he wants to fuck a green bitch.
I do.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna look at you and say, hey, Josh, no, you do want to fuck a green bitch. That's no, that's not.
Homeboy fucked a Martian.
No. Back to okay. So
Mind control.
we've had boogeymen. I said this before we went to break. We've had boogeymen that instill fear in this country for years now. As far as we can go back, let's see. In the 40s, it was the Nazis in Japan, right?
Sure.
The 60s, what was it? Well,
Hold
the
on,
50s
just
was
think
Russia.
of every major war we've had. There's we average a war every 20 years in this country. There's a boogeyman of every single
And
war.
we're undefeated.
The Germans, Koreans, Vietnamese, ourselves at one point, the
Well,
British,
civil, yes, it's out.
Native Americans, the French,
Now it's
Russia.
now it's the Chinese and Russia.
Mexican.
But that's why I want to talk now. Is it the Chinese in Russia?
Well, they're
Because
making a comeback. That
for
was
for
in
a
the 80s
little
and now
for a
it's
little
now.
point, I thought it was like for a little point it was we had the whole.
Well, Russia's always been the big
Trump.
one.
Yeah, we had the whole Trump and then the Russia collusion, which everyone knew was bullshit. But that was the whole thing. Russia was getting into our elections. Russia this, Russia that.
Sure.
And we always hear about Chinese today, but if you look at the media, it's not really. To me, it's something a little more homegrown. Because now it's, to me, if you look at the media, as far as everyone's talking about gun control.
Right. There's different boogeymen's based off of your perspective.
Exactly. So
On a global
to me,
economy,
based on whatever distraction is going on a bigger scale.
Like if we were in Ukraine right now making this podcast, the boogeyman would be Russia.
Yes.
Not gun control.
Yes.
Because we'd all be packing a piece.
Let me keep
Yeah, please. Anything that can get us canceled, please don't say.
But you say, was it really Russia? Well, Russia and China just had that conference, the presidents.
Yeah, they became a superpower. Didn't
Yeah,
they, or some
there
shit like
was
that?
also talk of like they're going to do something where they're going to have a new type of money.
Yeah, this
Between
is
the-
And
those
Taiwan is becoming the new East-West
well, no, it's
Germany.
okay.
Something
It's,
like
it's
that,
the
right.
BRICS. It's the BRICS alliance. Pretty much what's going on is that the Chinese is dealing with Saudi Arabia to trade the Chinese yuan instead of the U.S. dollar, and the Chinese yuan, and what's going on in this BRICS alliance between China, Russia, India, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Brazil, and now Mexico applied for this, is that what they want to do with their new currency is to do what we used to do back in our days, where
based it on gold and
based
silver.
on gold,
based on a finite material.
based on a finite material, and
which is what it should be.
what is what it should be, because after
Because
we
now
took-
the
after we-
dollar is worth nothing.
it's worth nothing. It's just
Right.
backed. It's just backed by debt.
That is so wrong.
You had to do it.
I'll
did.
allow it. I'll allow it.
Thank you.
It was
I'll
a good
allow it.
pun.
That was
It
a good one.
It
That
was
was
good.
good.
It
Thank
was
you.
good.
That
That wasn't overtly racist.
Air hive.
Air five.
Air five. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We
I'll
can't do
take
that too often. It kind of looks like something else.
it. Yeah.
But yeah, so,
Exactly why. I
but
didn't
yeah,
do
like
it.
on a global type of scale, you look at like, oh, that's a scary superpower thing. Those are the boogeymen. If you're at home and we get news of every day of another school shooting or another mass shooting, you have groups of people like, no, guns are the boogeymen. You know,
It's not like the people that shoot the guns are the boogeyman.
you have
know?
you have people who are saying like,
Exactly.
we want to protect children against drag shows. That's the boogeyman. Like, it's wherever you sit, whatever you're afraid of, that's what you're gonna make the hot button issue. That's your boogeyman.
And that's where the media, if they want to really sit there,
carves it out.
but it's not like we have to sit here and actually see what the real boogeyman is, which would be the banks in this fucking world, because they sit there and completely ruin everything.
So it's the Rothschilds.
Well, the Rothschilds,
Part of
it all goes back to the Rothschilds.
It's part.
It really does.
They're part of it.
I
They're
mean,
part of it.
like,
they're one of
Let's
many
just
families.
put it like this. I just did a video on TikTok, and I don't know if you saw it on
Yeah, the JP Morgan thing.
Yeah, the JP
Yeah.
Morgan right now is being, well, according to somebody, they threw it out. Biden went over there and threw it out, but
Of course he did.
I didn't read into that. I don't know. I haven't updated that yet.
Also stepped on a cat yesterday, but that's neither here nor there.
What? But
That's
JP,
normal for you and your family. Why is that news?
yeah,
Stop it.
JP Morgan was being sued by the U.S. Virgin Islands because apparently, what the U.S. Virgin Islands is saying that JP Morgan, the bank itself, knew that Jeffrey Epstein was dealing with
Extracurriculars.
Yeah,
Just say it that way.
well, no, we're gonna be on thing. You're not gonna put this on you haven't done any of those videos lately, so it's not gonna be going on.
Okay,
TikTok.
fine. He had his own type of after school program, and the bank knew about it. Is that
Yes.
better?
No, I mean you could just say he was sex trafficking.
All right, that just makes more sense.
Yeah, you dickhead. He was sex trafficking underage females, and the bank found out about this and continued dealing with him afterwards.
I hate that term, sex trafficking, because it sounds like you stopped. Like we've stopped it. Like traffic is what? Everything is stopped or no one's moving. Sounds like sex trafficking. there's
No,
no
I mean
sex
you could sit
happening.
there and say the flow of traffic. That means it's continuing.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
So you want to say
idea.
flow sex trafficking?
No, there's the flow of sex.
Oh my God.
How about we just call it
Shut
what it
the
is?
fuck up!
How about
my
we just
God.
call it what it is? It's sex slavery.
You know, this shit's been going on forever.
No, I know that.
It's
But
not
what I'm
gonna
saying is
change.
that's the real, to my eyes, that's the real boogeyman that nobody wants to sit there and view.
Well,
The bank.
Not even the bank. We can also well the bank is it, and then we can also look at our own politicians, because the pedophilia is insane within not
Well,
even our own.
We have an episode about
not
that coming
not
up
even
soon,
not
don't
even
we?
within our own government,
About
but just
what?
within global
Kid
governments.
touching?
Within global government, that like these people just have a thing for pedophilia, and whenever things start breaking out in terms of like these people might get caught, it all just got swept under the rug.
Something big
which
happens.
is where the other distraction comes in, the media manipulation to just distract people from uncovering what's really happening, what's the darker side of
our
Humanity.
politicians.
humanity.
You're right, and it also, but there's also exceptions to that rule as well. Every
Not to
once-
pedophilia.
Yes, there is.
Huh?
I'm going to tell you why. Every
This is
so
not a stance
often,
I'd expect you to take.
every so often, something slips through
That they
Yeah.
allow.
that they allow.
They allow it.
Okay, now, is everybody here familiar with Jeffrey Marsh?
Jeffrey Marsh.
No, I've never heard that name.
Yes, you have. You've seen him. If you're on TikTok, you've seen him. He's the guy that starts all his videos with, "Hi, kids."
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Okay, his name
He's
is
a
Jeff.
transgendered person. Yes.
All right, he's Jeffrey Marsh.
Yes.
This guy is allowed to be on social media when he blatantly is grooming the children.
He's an extreme example.
Okay.
He is.
My question is that proven?
He has a Patreon where he's telling kids to join my Patreon. I'll talk to you. If you're unsure, if you're part of the alphabet gang and your parents deny who you are, you can come talk to me, and I will help you out.
How many parents
so-
in their right mind are going to let their child talk to this fucking nigga?
Absolutely not.
So technically he's trying to create a cult then.
It's not a cult. It is basically he's trying to be an ally in the worst way possible. He's trying to support kids who understand that I'm not quote unquote normal. I'm part of this other sexuality on
They're
the spectrum.
fucking kids.
I understand.
bro.
Well, no, I'm not talking about children. I'm talking about teenagers. I'm talking about high school kids.
Okay, conscious teenagers.
Yes.
First of all, any person below the age of 25 don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
I'm sorry. I got to disagree with you. At 22, I knew I liked pussy. At 20,
No,
at
what
15
I'm saying-
years old, I knew that I was a straight heterosexual male.
That's not why I brought this up.
I
It's a
understand.
different
I know
fucking
that.
Yeah,
I know
no.
that. What I'm saying, I'm agreeing with you in the fact that you can be an ally of somebody, but there's a way to be an ally of a cause. He's not doing it the right way, at least in my opinion, from what I've seen. It's very.
How does that slip through for the
creepy.
whole pedophilia thing?
Because basically we'll sit there and
No one's blocking him.
no one's taking him the fuck off. No one's saying, "Look,
Well,
dude, you're
maybe-
when you start your videos with hi kids, kids.
maybe
you have
that's-
no right to talk to
okay,
anybody
okay.
else's child."
Maybe that's the new thing that we have today.
No,
Hold
I
on,
don't
wait,
wanna
no,
hear new shit.
Just shut up. I'm not talking about that. Maybe that's a new boogeyman we have in the world today is the fear of being canceled.
No, it's not, well, there's that fear too. But no,
I'm
when he's
not.
talking
Fuck 'em.
about this guy particularly, he has done some things that even I'm saying like that's not how you
But
be an ally,
my
bro.
thing is, if you turn around, especially when it comes to people of the alphabet community or minorities, if you come out against them,
Yeah, yes.
you have fear of being
You
canceled.
run the risk of being labeled.
Even look, I'm not talking about like they're like just against them in general purposes. Like they're obviously doing something wrong that you're like, okay, that's pretty fucked up.
Their social credit scores
I'll
are gonna
give you
go
the
down.
perfect example, and this has nothing to do with Jeffrey but well, it applies. I've been on TikTok screaming about Sophia Stewart and how she claims she wrote The Matrix and The Terminator, right?
Mhm.
And I say she's a liar, and I've been debating a lot of people about that. Well, she's a black woman who wrote that. And I had somebody sit there and say to me that I was promoting racial shit because I called a black woman a liar. And I put a very respectful video up, but I said, get the fuck out of here with that shit. I don't give a fuck what color she is. She's a liar. And don't, like, you get the fear of being labeled blankophobe because you're calling somebody out on the wrong that they're doing. That's a very good tactic to take when you are the quote unquote victim of what you perceive to be. You only hate me because I'm gay. No, I hate you because you're targeting children to talk to you behind their parents' back in closed chat rooms when it's not your fucking right to do that because you're not their parent. That's not okay.
No,
You want to be an ally, be an ally. But don't talk to kids in closed. Think of it physically. If this man was standing here and we're in a room with a bunch of kids, and he grabbed one of them and said, "I'm going to talk to you in this room alone behind this closed door," every one of us in this room would sit there and go, "No, the fuck you're not."
Oh,
I
yeah,
will
no,
Muay Thai the shit out of him.
I wouldn't let him near Caden. Like, no.
I will
like-
Muay Thai the fuck out
Right.
of him.
But if there's somebody who's like, "I want to talk to everyone, you should all be yourself and grow up and find your own way through life and your own sexuality," do right. That's fine. Don't sit there and say, "I want to talk to you behind closed doors," because I don't know what the fuck you're saying to my kid, and I don't trust that what you're saying is going to align with what the household I'm raising them in.
That type of thing.
So then how does that? So that ties into the mind control aspect of things, just because
I'm
they're-
raising the kid. It should be up to what I want them to. But at the same time, I have to respect my kid to make their own decisions at the right time. of their life.
And it also, like I said, the fear of being
all ties in
canceled and
big to
stuff
fear.
like that. Yeah, fear is a form of mind control. And when you're sitting there, like when I put that video up and I responded to somebody, and I'll admit I was a dick to the one guy who commented because he said something. I was like, this is big fucking news about the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing, and he put under, he goes, this is old news, nothing really new. This happened months ago. And I was like, dude, I never said it was new news. I said this big fucking news. And I'm like, because of the whole thing, the way I see the media is right now, nobody's reporting on it. So I'm like, this is big fucking news.
Whatever happened with Ghislaine Maxwell?
She's a part of that. She's in prison, I think.
She's still in prison.
But he was like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like on the video, I said,
yeah.
he goes, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to sound like that a dick. I'm glad you're shining light now. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah,
we're
people
good.
will sit there and
Another
they'll
person,
add a little aspect to it, and like that's not what I was talking about, dude. Like,
yeah. So
very hard very hard to read tone through text
yeah.
as well.
Well, that too.
And a woman commented, and she.
How dare you assume her gender?
She was a woman. She said,
I'm just fucking with you.
it says her, he, whatever the fuck you want to put in.
I'm just
She-
fucking
Her
with
pronouns are in the Bible, so
Yeah.
you don't need consent. You just know it.
Stop it.
I
There's
identify as a problem personally.
there is she put under the comment. She turned around and she said, "Well, I was listening to everything you say and I was agreeing with it until I saw the cross around your neck. In my opinion, all Christians are liars. So have a good day. I don't believe a word you're saying."
He called me. He's like, "What do I say to this bitch?" And I was like, "Joey."
And then I read a thing and she goes, "I a mother of 3 witches." So I'm like, okay, so she's a Wiccan or something like that around that area. So I'm not going to sit there and
She lights black candles and prays to no one.
so I turn around, so I turned around and I said, I did a video about it, going, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, cause you heard I said the word Trump and then I have a cross and all of a sudden I'm a right wing Republican. Shush. I'm a right wing Republican, and you saw the cross, and I'm like, she's like, no, I'm just frustrated because all the things that's happened in Tennessee. I'm like, I never said anything about gun control.
Yeah.
I never said anything about Tennessee or anything like that. You're bringing this in and you're frustrated, so you have to comment on it.
Misery loves company, dude.
And she was like, oh, I apologize. Can you just take my apology? I'm like, fuck you. You want to come on my thing and turn around and bash me because I'm wearing a cross? I'm like, and I said nothing about that. If you want to turn around and throw your anger at because you're tired of the shit that's happening in Tennessee, meanwhile, you voodoo people, I don't want to fucking hear it. All right? I'm tired of people dying left and right because of guns. Meanwhile, I put a curse on you. Fuck off. All right?
That gun control thing, I mean, it's
Gun control is a big fucking fear
all right,
factor.
I'm gonna get away from the gun control thing because that's a
Yeah, but
show
that
unto itself.
but that goes into media
What's
manipulation.
the biggest? What is the? Now you talk about fear and how we try to make people afraid. What is the biggest word that everybody's afraid of right now in our culture?
Cancel.
AR-15?
No.
God?
No.
Jesus, no.
Trump?
No. You want if you
Diet?
if you want to
That's-
stop
that's for
if you
us.
want to stop somebody in their tracks
They're good.
and you want to change the narrative of what you or they are talking about, all you have to do is call them a racist.
Oh, well.
The word racist will make you
But
stop.
that goes into being canceled, though.
The point I'm making is when somebody's called a racist, no one wants to be called a racist because no one wants that
Right.
label.
Yeah, you don't want to be
And-
labeled any sort of phobic. That's what I was saying
Only
before.
because...
That will make everyone go,
But-
okay, you know what? This conversation's now over.
But that
Unless- hold on.
that goes into the fear of being... That all goes into the fear of being canceled. Because if you're labeled
Right.
a racist, you get
Exactly.
canceled.
Yeah.
Okay. yeah.
Well, the same thing if you're in Hollywood. The thing is, you don't want to be labeled as a sex offender because the same thing. But
Same thing with a priest.
well, the same thing with a priest. But well, actually, let's put it like this: Hollywood makes the biggest thing. Anyone doesn't want to be. You get called.
You just shove that off your shoulder, don't you? Sex
No.
offender?
No, but nobody wants to be called a sex offender in anything. You make a joke in the wrong company, you're seeing HR and you're possibly being fired. You're gonna ruin your
You make
life
the wrong...
over a
Dude,
joke.
well, first of all, some areas you shouldn't be making jokes.
I understand that. You're 100%
Like if you're
right.
a teacher, don't be starting spewing sex jokes. You know
I
what I'm
agree.
saying?
No, you're 100% right. What I'm saying is, though,
Which is why I think you should completely keep this away from everyone around you.
you're 100% right. What I'm saying, though, is when being called a racist, being called a sexist, being called anything is detrimental because you run the fear of being labeled that forever. And not everybody has some sort of redemption. Like Louis C.K. is now kind of almost back where he used to be. He doesn't have a TV show anymore, but he's put out a couple of specials. People are buying tickets, and he was just like, you say I'm making light of it. All he did was jerk off in front of somebody. Still not okay that he did it, but
Did he
that's
have
what
their
he did.
consent though?
She said that. I said yes, but I was afraid to say no because he was someone of power, and he said the right thing to the right person. I could lose my career. That's what she said. I understand. Listen, roll your eyes if you want, but I'm just saying, like,
No, I didn't roll my eyes.
I know.
I
I'm
didn't
saying
roll my eyes.
that's what he did, and now he's at the point where he can tour, he can go back out there, he can make his money. He's not like,
You know how he edits that? If you know how he
Hold on.
completely gets that away? Just jerk off on stage.
yeah, I agree. Show everybody. Like, you know what?
But what I don't understand is where did things change? Back in the fucking 70s, you know what? In Midtown Manhattan, that was a form of entertainment. People were paying to see that happen. And
People
now-
are still paying to see that happen, but
and now
not when
it's,
you're
you
my
know,
boss.
Well, I don't know if your boss is going to come and jerk off on your desk. I don't know.
I sure hope
But,
not.
you know, I mean, if he does tell him to bring a towel, he's got to clean it up.
But my point is, like, he's someone who's
I'll
found a
break the
little bit of
desk.
he was able to salvage his career to a degree. He's not someone like Cosby, who was found guilty, but he's out on a technicality.
He crip walk out of prison.
He did. Motherfucker said, he went, hey.
Okay.
But my
Anyway.
point is, like, he's out on a technicality.
He's gonna
He
go
was
on.
still found guilty.
He's gonna go on a giant tour and just name it Pill Cosby.
But that's the thing. I don't like you'll get people in the seats because because people are gonna be like, I gotta see him because I was there to see him. But people who can't separate the art from the artist will not go see Bill Cosby, regardless of how funny he is. People will stop listening.
I never
to fucking,
found him funny to begin with. So.
Well, you never heard the right album because he was a funny man in the 70s. People have a hard time listening to fucking R. Kelly, but when fucking
I never have a hard time listening to R. Kelly.
when the Ignition remix drops, I'm like, I can put my hatred off to the side for a moment.
You're gonna tell me that you never sat there and listened to Ignition remix and just always belted out, even if he's peeing on people.
Drip, drip, drip.
Harvey Weinstein's a horrible person
His
who's
movies are fire though.
he'll be in prison for the rest of his life. But he still was able to make these movies that we enjoy. But a lot of people can't separate the art from the artist, and
Like
that's
Michael,
what makes
like
you
Michael,
hate everyone.
like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson made great music, but you know,
It was
Just
never.
don't say anything else. Just leave it there.
That was never proven
That's if you believe
that he
Just
did
saying.
it.
Right. That's the difference. Like R. Kelly, Weinstein, Cosby,
Dave
they were
Chappelle-
found
Well,
guilty.
I mean,
Dave
not
Chappelle-
that-
Dave Chappelle said that joke. It's just like, come on, man, it's Michael Jackson. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
like, first of all, R. Kelly made a whole album saying that he did it. So, like,
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he sat there and he
ain't
said he
shitty.
did
He's
it.
a fucking
like-
sex monster, but when fucking I Believe I Can Fly come on, I'm like, turn that bitch up. I feel inspirational.
when I believe he sings, "I believe I can fly." No wonder it was raining that day. But yeah, so as far as that's the whole part. I know we're completely off of media, like
mind control.
mind control.
Mind control.
Like I
Here
really
I was thinking they were going to talk about like Professor X and shit.
no, but that's the thing. I really wanted
Telekinesis?
this
That's
episode
next week.
to not sit there and be like, you know, let's talk about MKUltra and the shit, because we talked about it already.
Yeah, we did. We did.
We talked about an episode of MKUltra. I sang the song that your old song that you had.
I used to make music.
He used to make music, you know. But that's the thing. I didn't want to sit there and go back and let's
Rehash
talk
it.
about MKUltra and let's talk about. I think it's more of let's talk about the shit that's happening now and what we consider mind control, because some of the shit that's happening is mind control on both sides of the spectrum. And you saw Dad and Anthony fucking argue about their, you know, the one's the left side, one's the right side, and they're gonna sit there and they're both
making noise.
in their mind controlled. They're both not mind controlled. Let's put it like that. They're both
Free thinkers.
in their own elements of each side that they land on, the spectrum in which they land on. So they're both going to sit there and disagree with each other because they don't believe in each other's side or don't want to believe in each other's side, which is fine. You have the right to do that, and you're God-given American right. Just giant flags everywhere.
As he said that with the flag behind him.
Exactly.
Wait for the eagle to land on his shoulder.
Oh, I have the blue flag over there, bro. It's all good. Anywho, does anybody else have anything they want to talk about as far as mind control?
No, I don't.
We talked about.
We could do this all night. I mean,
Yeah,
seriously.
talked about boogeyman. We talked about pussy. You know, we didn't
Well,
talk
anyway.
about monster trucks, and that makes America. Guns, pussy, and monster trucks.
Ignoring the idiot on the other side. I think it all ties
We did
back
talk about guns
to,
too, so we did really forget about monster trucks.
And we talked
does-
about beer. That's American right there.
it all ties into manipulation and
I like my beer. How
Mind
I like my
control.
violence. Domestic. It's a
okay.
joke.
It all falls into mind control because it's always one bit of information distracting you from another.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what it is. It could be things about artists. It could
Bill
be
Burr said
things
that.
about financial crisis or stuff like that. It could be one thing covering up for another. There could be a major event happening right now in our life, like we just mentioned with the financial currency happening overseas that will devalue our dollar even further. It could be any minor thing that they'll throw in our faces to distract us from that, because most, I don't want to say population
say
of
it.
the earth, I want to say most Americans are literally brainwashed today as we
Without a
speak.
doubt.
Well,
Because
that
it's
was my
sheeple.
thing.
They're
It's
called
like
sheeple.
it's like you're being fed things. Like, I'll be honest, not to get too much in detail, to a degree, I myself have felt better because I've stopped watching the news. I've started to eat healthier. I've been slowly losing weight, like a pound at a time, but it's
Staring at you,
still
buddy.
losing weight because of the fact that I'm not sitting there
Listen, okay, we're gonna
force feeding myself
hold on.
all the negative news and shit like that, and the mind control potentials.
I'll talk
Everything
happy.
from fast food to just regular restaurants is literally changing the way you feel, the way you think, and everything. It's all about the chemicals and shit that you put in your body, even coming to the point where there's actual videos on like Instagram and shit like that are saying you change your detergents, don't use normal ones. There's even videos now that I think it was in New York, they banned certain laundry detergents because of how much chemicals are in it. Even from stuff like that that can alter our state of mind,
It
our
comes
state
down-
of
okay.
being.
It comes down
Hold
to
on.
one thing.
Hold on.
What?
Joey has something to say. No,
I
no.
really,
Say it. Say it.
to me, if you're gonna sit there and really depend on people turning around and telling you, oh, these products are bad, or this is bad, this not bad, to me that's mind control, and they're telling you, oh, this product is not good because of the chemicals it has in this or whatnot. They're telling you that the things of this product.
can't-
and-
You're
If
missing
the
this point.
chemicals
missing a
are so
huge
bad that New York State actually bans it because of the level
That's
of
not
chemicals
mind control,
in it,
that's
not
causality.
Yeah,
No,
that's
There's
I'm
a
not
difference
even talking
between
about
mind
that.
control and
But what I'm saying,
influence.
when,
Think of Europe too.
but
Europe,
what I'm saying is, you
banned,
you
like,
sat there and
processed
he's
bread
And
and
no,
shit.
and this is good.
no. I'm gonna go one further. Half of the foods we eat here in America that are junk food and shit like that are banned on the other side of the
Correct.
fucking planet.
They eat bats
Oh no! Oh no!
and cockroaches.
It's the way he said it.
You know what? In a way, I gotta agree with you because
No, but
I
that's
wanna
my
get
whole
off
thing.
this idea.
Look.
They
I
eat
bet.
Stupid.
No. My whole thing is I'm completely fine if you want to sit there for yourself and get in and say that these are steps I'm making myself to feel healthy and get right in the brain. I'm all for it. Good for you. I'm happy that you're getting yourself healthy and that you're feeling better about yourself. But to sit there and what Wes did, not to point you out, Wes, but to sit there and say, look at that. You got to listen to him, buddy. You have to. I'm okay with myself. I may be a hefty man. I am okay with my own body. I'm okay with my mental state. Don't sit there and say, well, if he's doing it, you have to do it because that's the healthy way of doing things. I'm fine with myself.
No one's telling you to do it, Jerko.
No, what I'm saying
just
is
giving information.
That's what I'm saying. He's like, come on, listen to me. If you guys are getting healthy for you, I am all there for you. I will help you with whatever you want need me to do. If I'm okay with my own personal body, I don't want nobody else telling me.
I think, Joey, this is a very long way of saying that we each way, in our own ways, cut some of the bullshit and the manipulation out of our own lives. Whether it's eating healthy or in my case, my thing is
Shut up, all right? This is what I have to...
I am totally off of all social media except for TikTok. I don't go on Facebook. I think Facebook is
I don't use Facebook
blatant mind control and misinformation from every single political spectrum. I don't care what it is. I hate Facebook. I stay off of Twitter. I'm on TikTok because most of the stuff is informational.
It's hilarious.
And
dude, I know. First of all, no. I have to throw it out there, dude. You and I share the Is This Real TikTok. Nobody else is really on it. You're more on it than I am because you don't really go on yours. I know what the thing, the feed, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the algorithm that you have, it's all food shit. All right? There's always some type of food shit that pops up, and I'm like, I don't follow these fucking things. I'm like, today we're making crepe apple whatever. I'm like, who gives a fuck what you're making?
Well, it looked
totally put your TikTok on blast.
Well, it looked good, and I might want to make it. That's all.
You don't make shit.
No, I know how to make.
You made fucking what? And they're good. I'll give it to you. They were good. You made some fucking sliders the last time I was over.
And I wouldn't have known that recipe had I not been on TikTok.
All right? So don't sit there and say you're going to make crepe apple whatever because you don't. You sit there and you beat your schmeat to it.
I don't beat my schmeat to TikTok. Those are a whole bunch of different social media sites I beat my schmeat.
Anywho, getting back to the thing at hand. For someone to sit there and say you have to listen to him and that is mind manipulation. That is manipulation. That is mind control to another degree.
I think what Joshua was trying to say is he thinks for himself.
And I do too.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Without the extra steps.
Do you ever shut the fuck up?
No.
Apparently not. Because
I am the
all
host.
I said what was working for me.
Thank you.
Okay, I wasn't going off on you. Let's just put it like that. Because he pointed at me, he said, you see, look what he's doing. Why don't you do that?
He's usually quiet when he's chewing.
Yeah?
Put something in his mouth.
I'm usually quiet when I'm chewing. Yeah, okay.
Anyway, I was simply saying, if you think for yourself and do a little bit of research, you can change your life your way and you won't be mind controlled.
Now you got it.
Informed research written by people who have studied in that field and understand what they're talking about. And that goes back to what we started this show as when we talked about education. That's the difference between an uneducated person and an educated person.
Okay, at some point, though, education...
What I mean is you go to somebody who knows what they're talking about because they spent time in
But they also can be biased about certain subjects.
Not disagreeing with you.
You have to take away the bias part also.
Yes, you're absolutely right. You find people who try to limit that bias, and then you go from there. That's what I mean. You have critical thinking, understanding what you're absorbing, and how it affects you.
First, you have to think
and
critically.
cite the sources.
First, you have to
think for yourself.
First, you have to think critically.
You guys all know me very well in this booth. I've been saying to you guys forever.
Just fucking with you.
Do not let someone else control you. Do not. I mean, it's okay. You want to go on TikTok or you want to go on Facebook, whatever else social media you like, but you got to take everything with a grain of salt. What a bunch of bullshit. I argue with my brother all the time, my brother Kevin. He'll sit there and he'll tell me, Joe, you watching Hannity? I wouldn't give you fucking 10 minutes of Hannity. And the reason I won't is I don't want to hear what his opinion is.
Anymore? Because you used to be all about Hannity.
I used to listen to Hannity.
No, that wasn't a dig. I'm being serious.
No, I'm serious. I agree with you. I don't listen to other people who are going to tell me how to think. Okay? I might want to turn it on for some entertainment. They might have a guest on I want. I do that with CNN or whatever. But I'm not going to stand here and I'm not going to let you tell me what you think I should be doing for myself.
Sean Hannity always looks like someone's waving a piece of shit. People like him. He's got a great show. People they love him. I personally don't want anybody telling me. And again, you got to have a brain in your head too. If you're going to watch a program like that, you got to understand it's an opinion-based show. It's not. You're not going to go in there to get the news.
Well, a lot of news programs now are opinion-based shows.
Right. It doesn't help that it's called Fox News.
If you're looking,
Well, it's the same thing with CNBC
I agree, it's the same
and
thing.
NBC.
When you're,
If
when
you
you're,
have the title of the person's name in the beginning of the show, it's opinion based.
agreed,
If it's the Rachel Maddow show, it's an opinion based show.
agreed, but it's one of those things like the channel is called News Network. Regardless of what there's an F or a C in front, it's
Right.
News Network.
That's the
and
way of
then I'm getting
manipulating you to
opinion
think it's
pieces.
news.
You know who
People
didn't?
go, "Oh,
You know who
news."
didn't give us their opinions? Ron Burgundy. We need more people like Ron Burgundy.
Well, anyway,
Really?
Anywho, anybody else?
Go fuck yourself, San Francisco. San Diego.
Yeah, first of all, he was just reading the teleprompter, right?
that's true. You can't fault him.
Yeah, you can't fault him. So
Smelly
thank you,
pirate
Joshua, for that. Wes, do you have anything else to add?
Think for yourself. Don't be a bitch.
Okay, then we're gonna
Or
get that
you
tattooed.
have to ask this if it's real.
It is real though.
It is.
The shit that we've been talking about today, more of this season, it's real. It's just the interpretations of it.
True.
And you have to sit there and you have to figure out which interpretation is the correct one, or
No, it's not which is correct. It's how you interpret it.
okay.
Because that's subjective. Everyone's
Pope.
gonna have a different thing.
I love how we're talking about media television. Pope. Oh, he must be the Pope, so we have to listen to what he says.
I'm not gonna jump into that now. We had our season of religion, but you want to talk manipulation? Religion is the biggest one of all.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like, I mean, it's weird how Dad and I are on some things opposite sides of the political spectrum, but our roots come from how we got there is the same way. It's the way
Well, you
we
also totally
interpret it.
agree on some things, also.
Yeah, that's true. But it was like we interpret some things, we hear some things, we think about those things, and then we arrive at our destination. We take the same path, we wind up in two different places.
Well, because you're on two different sides of the spectrum.
Exactly.
So
Made a left at Albuquerque.
yeah,
And I'm
Dad made
horrible
it
with
right.
decisions. I'm horrible
this
with
is a
directions.
Pismo Beach. Okay.
Dad, you have anything else to add?
Yeah, I do. I just want everybody to understand that, if you're going to sit there and you're going to listen to things and you're going to let people take you to where they want you to go, you've been manipulated. If you're going to listen to the news and not do your own research, you're going to be where they want you to go. You have a right to go where you want to go, and you got a right to be who you want to be. And that comes with thinking, critical thinking. Understand what you want, where you want to be, and don't let anybody think for you. The minute they think for you, they own you. Don't listen to anybody that says they got an official title, because you know what? The only official title is what's between your ears. That's it. If you let anybody else manipulate what's between your ears, it's no longer your own. So if there's something that I can get out of this or give to anybody out there out of this, do your own thinking, do your own homework. Don't be afraid to do your own research.
Don't be afraid to also like really truly express how you're feeling about
Exactly.
something. Just because it's going against the grain on something,
Yeah.
you have to be able to. These are your own thoughts. These are what you feel is going on.
Unless you're a Nazi, keep that shit to yourself.
And unless you're a Nazi
Keep that shit to yourself.
or a Klans member
Nobody wants that.
or a Klans member.
Or a Klans member.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing about the Ku Klux Klan is their title. Like, the Grand Dragon is an awesome title.
Nope, we're not even giving
No,
them
no,
that.
no, I gotta give them that. Like, if you want, like,
Don't shake your head yes.
You want to be
Don't
called,
shake your head
it's
yes.
not, what do we call is he president? No. Supreme leader? No. Lord? No. I want to be called the Grand Wizard. Is it Grand Wizard or Grand Dragon?
Grand Wizard I thought
It's
was
Grand-
Satanism.
It's Grand Wizard, but I like Grand Dragon.
Okay.
Just-
I thought it was Grand Dragon.
I mean, these motherfuckers
No.
wear jean shorts, bro. How can I take them serious?
So does John
Like,
Cena, but
they
you
have
take him
horrible
serious.
yeah, but I can't see him.
That's true.
I
Okay.
want to know how much they spend on bleach in the South. It's got to be a lot. Those robes got to be white.
Okay. And going back to Dad's point for us too, don't believe the shit that we say. Do your own research.
We don't know what we're
Look,
talking about.
not that we don't know what we're talking
No,
about. I
we
mean,
don't know
about
what
90% of the time, 99.5% of the time, not going to deny, we don't know what we're talking about.
I did no research.
Exactly. Neither did I. I just threw shit out against the wall, hoping it would fucking stick. But here we are. It's conversation. Don't be afraid to converse with people. That's the point.
Right. It's when somebody like Joey yells and screams at you and tells you to shut up and you're not allowed to have your opinion. That's the person you have to be.
No, I
Wary.
never do that.
Remember, y'all, you don't want me in power.
Yeah, because he's the one.
He the one.
He's the one that pointed me and say, do what he does. All right. He's gonna tell you you have to do things. All right.
Mhm.
I'm just
The
defending.
narcissistic side of me will get such
Yes.
a thrill off of it.
So again, I sit there and I say that
That's how I
after
get it.
every episode, and I'm gonna say it today. Question everything, even the shit we say. Do your own research. Do it. Because you'll sit there and completely feel better about yourself when you're doing your own thing, doing your own research. And don't be manipulated by other people. And again, when we say don't be manipulated, people are like, well, if I'm not going to be manipulated,
I'm not going to do my own research.
I'm not going to do my own research.
Yeah, that doesn't mean to go to work tomorrow and tell the boss, fuck off, I know more than you. You know what? That's going to hurt you in the bottom line.
Well, yeah.
But
Unless you do
know
know
what?
more than the boss. That's a different story than.
I mean, they're the boss for a reason. I mean, you may know more than the boss, but they're the boss. They have the title.
Yeah, but you know.
Respect the title.
Can we do it like a duel where there's like you challenge them for the title? Or
No.
For the throne?
No!
No?
Battle to the death.
Yes.
I don't need to be the office manager that badly.
Yeah, I don't want to be manager anymore.
I challenge thee for
right.
your title.
Man, fuck it. You run the supermarket. I don't need to fight to the death in the parking lot.
All right, so we're all good now.
Shopping cart jousting and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
So we're good with this episode then. Nobody has anything else to add.
I'm good.
I'm good.
No. Okay, everybody. Say goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
night,
Adios,
everyone.
motherfuckers.
We will.
everybody.
Oyatsumi.
We will see you guys next week. What is next week's episode, Anthony?
I don't know.
Thank you.
I think we said it was telekinesis.
We're talking about telekinesis.
I think it's
That's on our website at www.greenarrow.
Not yet. It's not. It has to be updated.
Yeah, we
God.
haven't up. Well, I mean, when this goes up, it will be.
It's updated. It's just not. Well, yeah, it's not published at this time of recording, but
Yeah.
it will be.
It will be when we go to our website.
greenarrowmedia.org.
Please follow us on all of our sites.
Check the Patreon. Definitely check the Patreon. We want more than 2 people on there. Sponsored by Dubby.
Go drink Dubby.
WGG.
W, you get abs. Eric, show your abs. He's gonna do everything to show his
Is This
abs.
Real PC? Get you 10% off. Check us out on all of our social media links: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, especially on TikTok at Is This Real PC? All one word.
Yes, and then you see.
God.
Oh, I don't think that has happened.
That's a hell of a promotion. I'm going with it.
Okay, cool. Well, that's fine. But again, we'll see you guys next week for telekinesis, I think.
I snorted that.
Huh?
Nope. Shut up. Nope. Shut up.
Let
Nope.
me finish. See, you're cutting me off. You're manipulating
No,
me.
because you're saying something stupid.
I snorted some W, and I swear to God, I could smell the future. It was amazing.
All right, we'll catch you guys next week. Thank you guys for joining.
I can smell the number green.
Good night, everybody. Remember, question everything.
Oyatsumi.
Good night.
Konnichiwa, bitches. It's Ryu West speaking. If you want to find out more about the Is This Real podcast, follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/isthisrealpc, or on Twitter at isthisrealpc, or on Instagram at isthisrealpodcast, all one word.